Let's talk about ghosts. So, hi guys, it's me, Katie, and today I am going to be doing a tag video, and I don't do those very often. I think I've done one or two on this channel, I'm not really sure, but I was requested to do this tag by one of my followers on Tumblr, so yeah. This is Graveyard Girls Paranormal Tag, and I have made 2 paranormal videos, 2 or 1, that's really vague, I'm not sure which one. But I have made one before, and I've been wanting to do some more, so I thought this would be a great segue into my paranormal videos. Yes, okay, and we're doing this, and it's happening, and go. Okay, so the first question is, how old were you when you had your first paranormal experience? From what I can recall, when I was a child, and you can look back to my paranormal story video, I live in a city where a huge disaster happened, the Halifax explosion basically flattened out the whole city, and by my grandmother's house there was a flattened out foundation of a family who used to live on the lot that she lives in, but they unfortunately passed away during the Halifax explosion. And my mom said when I was a kid I used to spend hours up there playing by myself. It's just in the woods, like 10 feet away from the house, but it's pretty thick wood area. And my mom said around 4 to 7 in this general time period is when I had the most of my paranormal experiences, and I used to play with a girl named Skylar and Henrietta, but they weren't real. So I don't know if they were imaginary friends, or if like I was seeing spirits. My mom thinks that I was seeing spirits because they had a medium come up there, and she said that 2 girls, it was a family of a mother, a husband, a son, and 2 daughters. So I would say anywhere from 4 to 6 was my first paranormal experience. Have I always believed in ghosts? Yeah, pretty much. I don't think that believing in ghosts makes you crazy or anything. It's just one of those things. 3, where is your favorite place to investigate? I haven't done a lot of investigations. I would love to get into that, but one time my best friend's older brother and his friends took us ghost hunting, and we had to like hike in the woods, and it was like 10 at night. We're like hiking through the woods up this like hillside. It's really, really thick wooded area, and then we come out and there's this like clearing, but you can't really see because it's like snowing and it's dark out, and in the clearing is like an abandoned graveyard, and this is like not near any main road. Like we had to drive to a dirt road and then walk up the hill, and it was like a 10-minute walk in the woods. So this was a really weird place to have a graveyard, but it was like an 18th century graveyard, which was really cool, and we got some really awesome pictures in there, and some really weird things happened. Like there was no wind blowing, it was like a little bit of snow, but like when we got there, the like snow in front of one of the grave just like kind of blew away. Like the grave was like covered with snow, and the snow like blew away to reveal like this huge gravestone. It was like cracked, and it was really weird, and just some eerie feelings and voices and stuff that we heard and saw there. So that was my favorite place to investigate. What's my scariest paranormal experience? One of my friends in high school and junior high lived in a house where the previous owner had committed suicide, and going to her house for like her birthday party or after school was just really uncomfortable to be there sometimes. I never like really saw anything that really frightened me, but I just got always uncomfortable feelings and like bad energy and temperature changes and that kind of thing. And like if you've ever done paranormal investigation or like have had paranormal experiences, there's sometimes just a gut feeling that you get that like a presence or spirit doesn't want you there, or you shouldn't be there, or there was like negative energy, and that I felt that. I like tried to avoid going to her house sometimes because I just didn't like the energy I got there. But as I got older and we would go over after school and stuff, like the energy got better, so I'm not really sure. I actually think her mom had somebody come in to investigate that. I'm not sure. Maybe that's why the energy was better, but what's my favorite paranormal experience? My favorite paranormal experience is probably when I went to go visit my mom's aunt, or my great aunt, in New Brunswick, and I met Martha, which is like the house, estate, manor ghost, which was really cool. She like pointed me to the bathroom, and like I have a video about that, so I will just link it down in the description if you want to know about Martha, because it's crazy. Okay, so do you know anyone else personally who has had paranormal experiences? I would probably say my friend Nicole. I think I can recall her telling me a couple of like ghost stories and paranormal stories, but apart from that, it would have to be my best friend Missy, because we would go ghost hunting together, and we investigated. We went with her brother and his friends, and his friend had a EVP box or a talk box, and we went to this abandoned foundation like down by the ocean sides of like this small fishing community, and it was like an abandoned foundation of a mansion like in the woods, and it was like a concrete foundation, and like we picked up some pretty weird things that night there. Favorite paranormal TV show or movie? My favorite non-fictional like reality paranormal show would have to be Paranormal State. I really like that. And I find they try to give the families like the best result and good advice, and if something's not safe or a place for them to be, they offer options and solutions, so that's really good. I really like that one. My favorite paranormal movie, I don't really have one. I don't think I've ever, I mean, Poltergeist is a paranormal movie, but I didn't see that. There's one in my head, but I like can't think of the name. So number 10 is, what would your dream place to investigate be? Oh my god, my dream place to investigate no longer exists, which makes me really, really sad. Hang on, I'm gonna Google the name of it, because I don't, like, I know the name of it, but I don't, like, oh my god. This makes me so sad. My dream place to investigate would be the Dixmont State Hospital, which is in Pennsylvania, and it was like this huge 18th century, it was built in 1862, state-of-the-art like mental institution. It was completely self-sufficient, like it had its own farm and its own like just everything. So cool. And it was abandoned for a really long time. It was like a mental institution, but this was like the first type of its kind, where the person who, what was her name? I don't remember. Anyways, the woman that built, the woman who was in charge of it, believed in rehabilitating and working with people with mental disabilities instead of just like shooting them up with lorazepam and like Thorazine and like letting them rock in a cell by themselves. So it was really state of the art, but then it got turned over to the state, which is, you know, like when bad things started to happen. Just crazy. And it was huge, and it was really, so awesome. But then it got turned over to the state, yeah, and things just got bad. And the thing that makes me so sad is it was abandoned until 2006, when it was demolished to build a Walmart. I might try to insert a picture here. Of what it looked like, because it's really huge. There's like several buildings. I think it spans 407 acres, which is a lot of land, and I would love to go there. Really, really would love to investigate there. Apart from that, I really like anywhere's abandoned. I really like abandoned military bases, but I think that's because the city I live in was a naval port for a really long time, and a lot of the places that I investigate around here are abandoned military batteries or that type of thing. So that's my dream place to investigate, but it doesn't exist anymore. Do you prefer to investigate alone in a group? I did like investigating in a group because you got the different perspectives of what was happening, and you always have that one person who doesn't believe what's going on until it happens, and then they're like, I've never really gone investigating alone. I've been through a couple graveyards by myself and that type of thing, but I normally go with my boyfriend, or I bring him, or my best friend, have somebody there. The last investigation I did was last Friday, and I went with my boyfriend, my best friend Beth, and her boyfriend Cole, and it was, I would rather go in a group, but not a huge group, like limit it to like 3 people, 4 people. 12 is your home haunted? No, I wish it was. That sounds really awful. But I probably just invited some like awful spirit to come haunt my house. But I live in a suburb. And like nothing was here before they built my suburb. So I would like to think that my house was built on some like ancient native burial ground or something. That would be cool, but it's not. Not that building places on top of ancient native burial grounds is cool. Don't get it twisted. And 13, have you ever had any paranormal experiences with animals? Not with animals per se. I mean, I've had some like feelings of like, we had a family dog, my dog Tessa. She was a Bernese Mountain Dog. She lived to be like 10 years old, and she passed away like 3 years ago. And sometimes when I'm in the house, I can feel her like behind me, or like her tail brush up against me, that type of thing. But I don't know if that's just like my head like making it up because I was so used to having her here. But sometimes I'll get up in the middle of the night to go get like a glass of water, and I'll go to open the back door to let her out, and then I remember that I can't, and that makes me uncomfortable sometimes because I really miss her because she was a family member. Like, it's hard to explain what that feels like until you've lost some, like a pet that close. But yeah, so Graveyard Girl created this tag, and I just, you know, filled in the blanks. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and you know what, it's time for maybe like spooky, awkward outro dancing, like ooh, ooh, ooh. Well, that probably wasn't